Hey, you!
Me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Do you like live streams with Australian icons?
I mean, I guess? How'd you even get to my house?
Well, good, because that's exactly what this is. Welcome one, welcome all to the Nick Storm live stream. I am your host, the Australian icon, Nick Storm, and I really hope you enjoy your frickin' stay. Nick Storm, the Australian icon. Nick Storm, the Australian icon. G'day, ladies and gents. Welcome to 8th installment. I can't even count that on one hand. I'm gonna need my second hand in there. There's too much happening here. But guys, we got a jam-packed episode and we have our guests waiting. So without further ado, let's do the do and do the do. Okay.
Use code ICON.
Steven, OZER, action figure attack. Dude, how the heck are you?
Steve Sleeve. I'm doing good.
You got a couple Steve Sleeves, it looks like, right now.
I guess so. How's everything? It's been 2 months, right?
Oh, yeah, we were talking off air. 2 months? Okay, that's a little bit too much time, all right? I need my Steve OZER regularly, okay?
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's my fault over here. There's Figure Friday. It's doing too well in the ratings. We haven't gotten cancelled yet on the network. Steve, look, just between me and you, I don't know how. Okay? But that's neither here nor there. We have and guys, I want to give a shout out to Sam's Figs. He has not passed on, but he is not able to make this Figure Friday. But that's all right. If there's some jankiness going on, some maintenance that needs to get taken care of, Friday the 13th, okay? It's the scariest goddamn episode, okay? What do you expect from me? We got some people in the chat. Magic! Shout out, you sexy thing. You sexy thing, you. And Mo the Fig God. We got some people in here, guys, and I want to say, right off the bat, I think towards the end of the stream, we're going to be taking and collecting, if you will, some questions in the chat. If you guys do have any questions directed to the man, the myth, the legend, the icon. Are you the Philadelphia icon in your circles?
In my circles, no, but maybe someday, huh? Give me a little more time. Put a little more into the body of work. Maybe I'll be the icon then.
Hey, if there's no better time like the present to knight you with the Philadelphia icon. But no, dude, if people don't know out there, Steve, you're a top dog. You got that dog in you, okay?
Okay.
I don't know if you know this, but you're the global brand marketing manager at Mattel, more known for his work with the WWE and Mattel partnership as Action Figure Attack on social media, and he is the mastermind behind Ultimate Editions. I say it every goddamn time. And he joins us for the 8th episode of Figure Friday. Steve, it's been such a crazy week, I feel like, in the past couple months. And I'm just really glad to have you here. Will you let me pick your brain a little bit?
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, good. Okay, well, look, don't call me a brain surgeon, but I'm going to pick some membrane, okay? Okay, guys, and it's going to be all figure related. But yeah, guys, comment your questions down in the chat. We'll get to them. But something that we actually saw pop up, I think, first and foremost with the reveals that happened this week is something that actually took me by surprise. And I know took a lot of people by surprise. And it's actually the LWO Elite 5-pack coming to Mattel Creations in November. Now, a little bit on this pack, the Mattel Creations will offer a made-to-order pre-order, similar like the Logan Paul and the Cody Rhodes, that will run from noon Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday, November the 19th, or the 9th, sorry. Don't listen to me. November the 9th, Eastern Standard Time. Too many goddamn conversions. Okay, I'm Australian. What do you think's gonna happen here? And we're on from November 9th to Friday, November the 24th, and you can get your hands on this. This set will feature Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, Zelina Vega, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde. Steve, talk to me about getting this 5-pack and representing LWO in such like a magnitude like this. Was this like kind of a no-brainer idea to get this out to us and to our collecting mitts, if you will?
Well, I mean, of course, the collector community has been pretty vocal about wanting more box sets. We've done a couple in the last year, 2 years. The Raw 30th anniversary box set, the Then Now Forever box set. But factions were kind of missing from the equation. And with the Backlash pay-per-view being red hot this past year, we kind of put our heads together and thought, what better way to kind of kick off like doing some sort of faction based box set than with current hot faction in WWE. So we're launching this newly expanded box set, 5 elite figures here, execution with LWO hitting Mattel Creations, 2-week limited made to order window. So if you want this set, if you want these superstars and these looks, and to me, I really want that Zelina Vega with
Yeah.
the with the entrance cape. That 2-week window in November, early November, is your chance to secure this.
Yeah, and dude, talking a little bit more about the individual figures that come with this Santos Escobar is phenomenal to me. This is like a big upgrade to his prior elite, which already, how can you get? You had the interchangeable mast head, which was pretty clean, in my opinion. That whole attire was very clean. But you topped it here, you have a very nice updated, like you said, from Backlash. And this is great, but also, man, this Rey Mysterio might be one of my favorite Rey Mysterio elites that I've seen, just based on like the mask sculpt and the deco alone on this. Like, I don't know. I think you guys need a raise over there, if I'm being honest.
Well, this was all Bill McKenna here. When we were talking about what looks to do in the box set, obviously in a way paying homage to the Backlash event, but it is a little looser. Like Joaquin Wilde and Toro, I think, are in their WrestleMania gear. But Bill absolutely wanted to do this particular masks for Rey Mysterio, and I think it was the right call because it's totally different than anything else we've done for him so far.
Dude, absolutely. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, and I think I remember seeing on the wrestling figure forums, I think that this shirt's going to be updated in the long run in the future. Is that true?
Probably. We had to put, when we reveal things, typically you don't see soft goods in a lot of those renders. And that's because soft goods is a little bit further down the pipeline development wise. With this being a made to order, we had to make sure that the soft goods were represented in the visuals that we were showing you guys. So our team who produced these virtual models were able to construct some soft goods for them. So, as we go through the process, we'll refine. I'll give my notes to Bill, and we'll see if we can give him the accurate short sleeves that he had in the particular Backlash event.
Boom, there you go. Is stuff like this when you notice something pop up like this, like maybe a slight inaccuracy, do you guys normally jump to sending you guys each other's notes, especially with 3D renders? I guess that'd be much easier to do, right?
I try to check out the deco and sculpt turnovers when design sends them out for approval. And sometimes they'll show me them before they send them out to approval. So we try to catch those things right away. And then we have several checkpoints, throughout the process where we're taking a look at things and making sure that they're progressing. And still, sometimes comments are made and we call out things and they don't get fixed, can't get fixed. You're dealing with not only our internal team here, but a licensor and then partners in Asia who are all trying to, make changes, make things happen. But it's a long process and there's a lot of checkpoints along the way. And we do our best.
I'm in a band, right? And I'm one of 5 in that band. Getting 5 people to cooperate, only 5, getting only
Right.
that many people to cooperate sometimes is a tricky situation. So I can't imagine having all these different teams like all over the place, especially like different time zones and everything. If I was in a band with different people with different time zones, it's over. It's over. But man, like talking more about these solo figures, you mentioned the Zelina Vega comes with this very nice, like I as we saw in her entrance, sort of Puerto Rican flag that she came out to the ring with, and this is just such an iconic moment. I think again, no brainer. I use this term a lot. No brainer to get this sort of iconic look. I'd say, man. And this I love the I'll talk on this accessory that comes with it real quick as well. This is a huge cloth flag piece too. It looks like it's a nice cloth piece. I guess just seeing from the 3D render, talk on this Zelina Vega for a little sec.
Yeah, this figure, once again, credit to Bill McKenna. I wanted this to happen, and he absolutely was in alignment that this should be the one. I am really impressed actually by our team who put together the virtual models once again because they can
Yeah.
kind of constructed out of nothing this cape based on reference photos, essentially. So kudos to them for it. But this is like a focal point type of an action figure for people's shelves or collections, right? Like has to go like dead center on your shelf with her arms spread out and that flag open wide. So such a cool figure, and to see her reaction on the Elite Squad video and on social media, the excitement, it was a special moment for her. And then now having that represented as an action figure, she really seems to think that that's such a cool feeling. So very happy how it turned out and her reaction, and looking forward to seeing the final product.
It's always like such a different experience, I could imagine, when you make these figures, you are making them for the fans, but when you actually get to see the wrestlers' reactions, especially when it's probably a very iconic moment. This is probably up there, and I don't want to speak for Zelina Vega, but this is probably up there in moments of her career. So to get that sort of solidified in an action figure as well, I mean, I'll never put that over enough,
Yeah,
it's great, man.
Always super rewarding. And this one, we kind of recorded that Elite Squad video a little bit in advance, and then she had to sit on it. And I think, waiting to be able to speak to it. And I think somebody leaked the photo out just a little bit early. It popped up on MattelCreations.com slightly before all the photos and the video went live. And then she was finally able to, share that excitement with all her fans. So it was pretty cool to see yesterday.
Yeah, see, that's awesome. See, that's the kind of stuff I'd do it for, man. Oh, I love seeing that. I love when like you get to see the wrestlers fanboy out like over the video games or whatever it is. Any of the medias that I consume and I eat, and I don't feel malnourished at the end of the day. Okay. But no, I hope we're doing good. And guys, we have so many people in the goddamn chat. I just want to say it's like Friday the 13th up in here. Like, luckily we don't have Jason here. I mean, who knows? Maybe there'll be a run-in with Jason, but For right now, I actually want to talk on the Elite 106 glam shots, the glamorous photos that we actually seen this week, I should say. This is what happens with my brain on no coffee, okay? If you guys are out there, don't pick up coffee as a hobby, okay? It might already be too late for most of you. But I want to talk about Elite 106, man. We are seeing here Sami Zayn, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. Sheesh, thank you. I mean, Chad Gable, obviously. We got Roxanne Perez, and we got Paul Bearer. And Paul Bearer, we don't only have one Paul Bearer, because it's been a while since we got a Paul Bearer, believe. We don't even only have one Paul Bearer. We got a Chase, okay? And look, okay.
There he is.
I need to shut the heck up, because Steve has a little something.
The first one I had to grab from the set, Paul Bearer. This one.
Where the heck am I?
Years and you disappeared. Paul Bearer has cast you away with the power of the urn.
Thank God.
But this one was years in the making. Bill McKenna was trying to perfect this figure for quite some time. He was in and out of lineups. He got some sculpt work back and some early work back from Asia and from our sculpting partners, and he wasn't satisfied. So we kept like pausing this, because if we're going to tool up a brand new Paul Bearer, a larger Paul Bearer, we had to get it right. And I think he really nailed it here. So really excited. Paul with two urns, the smaller urn, the huge urn from SummerSlam from when he returned. And also Paul is the Chase. And you have that era when he was Kane's manager and his hair was a more, natural color. And that's an open jacket, which may be the first time as an Elite we're doing open jacket. I know we have an open jacket for basics. But anyway, the little things, right?
The little things, man. Yeah, that's crazy.
Right. So, I mean, that to me is the figure I'm most excited for. So, yeah, needless to say, I grabbed those the second I had some samples available.
Yeah. I like to call that human Paul Bearer.
Yes.
I mean, who knows what species that makes him beforehand, but that's human Paul Bearer to me. But, dude, that's kind of great that you brought that up, because I had glam shots of that. But, hey, no need to bring into the Paul Bearer if you got him in hand, man. Actually, Sammy, you can wait as well. So I want to say, unless
I have them, let's just do it.
Unless, okay.
So Sammy, there's your new Sammy, new head sculpt, which I think looks fantastic. Gear,
the deco, man.
Zayn, and then that shirt. Sammy, not Uso, Sami Zayn.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this is the Sammy I wanted out of this past run that we got earlier this year, later into last year as well. This is the Sammy that I need in my collection for that, just to bring that into life because I mean, such a great run. The amount of times I've seen Sami Zayn on clips trying not to make the Usos break character or something like that, just being a goofy little guy. I mean, I love Sami Zayn to bits. So yeah, this is a great figure as well. Dude, going back to Paul Bearer real quick, you touched on there's a bigger sculpt for this suited body now. Is this something
yeah.
that are you guys gonna look forward to do? I guess more character talent oriented suits. I guess for that matter, we can see here with the Paul Bearer human version, of course.
Human Paul. We did do a larger torso for Paul Heyman in the the recent Elite 3 pack. Beast versus Bloodline. We changed the name a few times, so I don't remember what we finally called it. But you know what I'm talking about. Roman, Brock, and Heyman had a unique suited torso there. So I think we're looking for opportunities to give talent unique torsos. We've talked about it for Ultimate Edition specifically. Roman obviously has a more appropriate torso coming in his next Ultimate. People have asked about Kurt Angle, and I've already, expressed that we're going to try to do a unique singlet torso for him. There's someone else who was just greenlit for a new unique torso. So yes, we totally are looking for those opportunities to give people torsos when warranted, and Paul Bearer absolutely warranted something very unique because his shape is memorable and unique.
Damn right. Yeah, I mean, hey, Paul Bearer, legend of the business, okay? And I mean, and we're getting it accurate here. And a chase as well. Did you guys pass up making any other talents to chase in this elite wave, or was it like no brainer? Let's get Paul Bearer. He hasn't had this sort of side of him in figure form, solidified yet. Was that sort of how that thought process went, talking into that?
I mean, as we look at the figures, you probably could have done chases with most of them. Maybe Sammy is the toughest because his gear is kind of standard black, right? I know he had red for Survivor Series, I think. But I think with Paul, I think the idea just carried forward because we had always wanted to do him as a chase every time we had plugged him into these lineups. And we're kind of back and forth between this blue suited version or the red suit when you went back to the black hair. But this gave you a truly differentiated Paul Bearer with the different hair color and everything. So we kind of went with this one. But this was a good wave where you could have went in a lot of different directions with the chases. So Paul got the nod this time.
Yeah, you could have gone in a lot of different ways, and I think, man, something I want to talk about in this wave as well, speaking more of it, is this Chad Gable. Now, this is something that's, like, just seeing the photo on the right, that his head scan's pretty accurate, Sometimes I can look back and see, wow, this might be one of the best likenesses in wrestling figures in general, and I think, like, the DIJ and the True Effects technology really helped to that, but the sculpt alone, everything on this, you get the interchangeable hands, you get the, thank you, Okay, let me just stop talking right here.
No, you can keep your picks up, that's fine.
Why would I do that when I have I've got the real deal right here, dude, Friday the 13th, Figure Friday the 13th, this is great, man.
You're Vanna Whiting it and everything.
I'm trying my best, But yeah, talk to me about getting this. I like this attire. It's got you've seen the black, you've seen the gold, you've seen the blue. Thank God it's not the black and blue dress because I'd be confused on what colors are actually on the attire. But look, you have the tattoo as well on the actual the back of his shoulder, the back of his back. I guess you could film
the back of his back. Wouldn't that be his front?
You could film. Yeah, we get the double negatives of it all. Hey, I mean, look, this is what No Coffee does, and you get a cloth of goods as well. You get a shoosh.
Velcro on the back. We get those questions. Is it Velcro? Is it not Velcro? This one's Velcro. Usos also Velcro.
Is there any reason? To that? Like, is there any method behind them? I love using that method behind the madness because we do see sometimes there are cloth shirts without Velcro, and then there's sometimes with Velcro, and sometimes it does better without Velcro or with Velcro. Depends on the character or the talent. But yeah, what do you think on that? How do you disperse those into lines?
So it's tough. I mean, I prefer the non-Velcro. You do typically do those as engineer print, so the graphic will lose some of its, detail when you go to an engineer print type. But I think it's just like ease of applying the shirt. Like an Ultimate Edition is very easy because you've got arms that you can pop the head off, which you can do on Elites too. But pop those arms off and you can easily get a shirt on. Whereas Elites, they're not as articulated. They don't have the butterfly shoulders. They don't have the removable arms. So Bill will go with the Velcro in a lot of cases. Graphics on the back can change things. If you want an uninterrupted graphic on the back of a shirt, you may want to do something that has no Velcro and maybe is a stretchy material. I don't know if I said this because I'm rambling a little bit, but there's cost, right? Those stretchy shirts cost a little bit more. So you're just trying to balance all the factors and making a decision on what type of shirt you want. So.
Dude, I mean, I look. You don't need to say when you're rambling. Have you seen the product? Have you, have you watched the product, Steve? This is what we do for an hour here. No, I mean, you break into it, man. I mean, it kind of warrants it for sometimes. I'm like, I mean, what comes to mind is John Cena's. He has graphics on the back sometimes. I mean, that's great stuff. I mean, it's cool when you can do it and when we can see it. But again, no quips to the Velcro because at the end of the day, for putting it on Elites and everything like that, you're not struggling to rip if it's not got Velcro, if that makes sense. But dude, speaking of the Usos in this line, you guys are cheeky over at Mattel. Don't you see what I'm seeing? Don't you see what I see? So, this this Jey Uso, Jimmy and Jay looks really great in this line. I won't lie, dude. You got the bloodline red going on, and something I actually want to mention on this Jimmy more so is there's toe articulation on this figure. This figure has interchangeable hair. The torso sculpt I think is different as well. Can you just pick my brain about this for like a good few hundred minutes and seconds?
You want me to pick your brain? Okay. What else do you think of this figure, and tell me why it's wonderful?
I'm so glad you asked, Steve. let me vice versa, whatever. Okay, no coffee.
So obviously we do a lot of Usos, and I'll be honest. There was dissatisfaction with Jimmy's head sculpts and hair sculpts for a bit. He had bangs, even though the figures still had long hair in the back. The bangs were throwing people off. So I said a few months ago, hang tight. The next Jimmy will come, and he'll have at the very least new hair. But now he's got two new hair pieces, and that comes
You got
off.
two new hair
Singulars. Let me put this on without staring at the screen. And there's, the kind of, I guess, dread look, right?
Oh, that's incredible. Dude, that's so cool.
So now you have, two new options for Jimmy, and thank goodness the heads are all swappable now on Elites and Ultimates, so you can put this on your other Jimmy Elite figures, or even your ringside Ultimate figures. So really giving you guys a lot of options of how you want to display these figures. And I think it turned out great, personally.
And if you want to give Stone Cold Steve Austin braids, I mean, you can hot glue it or something. But
you could.
But yeah, let's speak about the mechanics. How does the interchangeable hair actually work, and how does it actually sit on the head, which is something I'm wondering.
So it's sculpted into the head, like where you can naturally rest it and secure it, right?
There he is.
So it's really secure in there. It's really secure. You saw me struggling to get it on and off a second. Like, not struggling so much that I couldn't do it, but like that's how secure it's going to be. Like, if you are someone who plays with these figures, or does action figure photography or slams them around, that hair is going to stay on the head. Yeah. So it's really secure.
You're going to need some calcium in your formative years if you want to take that hair piece off, is what Steve's trying to say.
So it's really secure, and I think Bill he was very conscientious of that, making sure it wasn't just a simple plug-on piece that would just like fall off with a little bit of impact. So it's well done. It's well done.
Yeah, absolutely it is, man. Is this something, do you think that we could see this on future talent? Is this something that you're going to completely take advantage of now? I mean, once you have that bald-headed technology, okay, and I'm talking about the figure, okay? Let me stop you there.
I get royalties if it's not figure based.
I mean, yeah. So Let's give all the royalty housings to Steve, okay, over here. But is this something that we can see on future talents as well, going into the line? You're gonna take advantage of this mechanism, I guess.
Well, yeah. I wasn't going to show this one, but I remembered it was here. The Nash from Monday Night War. He also has the same type of hair technology. Does it work?
Dude,
Yes.
that looks
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if this actual sample worked, but yeah, he's got the same, sculpted grooves in the head and everything. And then you can put on cap head, very secure, and now he's ready to talk about adjectives. With,
I was just gonna say, look at the adjective. God damn it!
with the WCW universe.
Yeah. Guys, co-host in the future for Figure Friday. Co-host Steve Oz. No, how about just the host? I'll get out of here. To be honest, you can wear the glasses. I'll send my hair in the mail or something.
Don't leave a flounder.
Dude, speaking of flounder, this has nothing to do with flounder, but the Usos Elites actually have a different torso choice. Was this a sort of conscious decision on your guys' part? What was the motive to actually change the sculpt of the torso for these?
No
Usos?
idea. No idea.
Billiam, I'm looking at you.
I never talked to Bill about it. He's the designer. I stick my nose in a lot, to his dismay sometimes, and other times to all of our benefit. But sometimes I just let him do his thing, and I never had a conversation about the torso for these guys. And a lot of the parts, I can't do it, right? I'm busy. Sometimes you and I, want to have these chats, and there's scheduling difficulties. So I got to let him do his thing. So I don't know, guys. Sorry. If you like it, let us know, and if you don't like it, don't say anything.
I mean, hey. Don't say
no,
any. I mean,
tell us.
that's
If you don't like it, let us know, and we'll see. Maybe this isn't the right choice for torsos anymore.
All comments help the algorithm. There you go. Use that with what you will. Who freaking knows? Okay. But regardless, man, I think you can just torso crack as well. If you guys really want to torso crack that Ultimate Edition onto these legs. Oh my! You might have some special going on there, Brad, young man. Sorry, Trey. That's a Trey. Shout out to Trey. But yeah, I want to talk more about this actually basic 145 Sami Zayn. Now this it perked my ears, man. I don't have eyes, so it perked my ears up. That's for sure. And the only reason it did is because goddamn Sami Zayn new basic articulation. Also, there's the PWG logo on these pants.
Oh, can we pause for a second? Oliver Custom says the torsos aren't different. He's holding them in his hand, and they're the same.
Let's myth bust this right here, okay? What's that guy's name? Savage, Randy Savage from Mythbusters. I think that's it, right? Look, hold it in hand and see if it's the same right this second, okay?
Who, me or him? Who's doing it? Everybody? Everyone who has
everyone
Usos
at home.
figures in
Everyone
the world.
at home, get your
Grab
Usos figures in your hands. Put them up in the air, wave them like you just don't care. Look at that.
Wait, same? I don't know. You tell me. I don't have my. What was he in? SummerSlam? My SummerSlam Jay at the moment.
Yeah. Look at this is why he gets paid the big bucks, guys.
For not knowing.
I mean, you got it right in the end. We got there. We got from A to B. It's all right? It's all good. Yeah, we went through the whole alphabet within the A to B, but that's fine. But yeah, this Sami Zayn, this actually has. I noticed it has the PWG logo on it.
Don't get attached to it.
Okay.
Sorry. I think we put together designs based on the gear, and then as we go, some things may have to get cut for various understandable reasons. So, if that logo that's similar to the logo you just mentioned stays, then great. And if not, it's got to go. So, we'll see. We'll see if that logo lasts and makes it to final product.
And if it doesn't, you know who to blame.
Nick, okay. If you wouldn't have said anything, I never would have noticed. So
I didn't say anything. Wait, where's the? I need a pen.
We're live, pal.
I got an inhaler. Let's just pretend it's the thing from Men in Black. There you go. There you freaking go. So very cool nondescript logo on that basic Sami Zayn.
But new legs on Sammy that is very fitting of his current tights. You want to call them tights, pants. His gear, what he wrestles in, little bit loose, not super tight. And John designed this one, and he made sure to get Sammy's legs accurate. He didn't just go with traditional sculpted tights legs. He made sure it was accurate to Sammy. So that was hats off to John for that. He killed it, and I saw a lot of positive reception to this figure as well. So
I mean, yeah, just in general, man, I think basics are having a complete resurgence. I mean, for me at least, they have. I don't know if I can speak on anyone else, but I actually have like I have I have multiple reasons to buy basics now, especially like even we have the interchangeable hands, right? We have the interchangeable heads coming in. We have the new basic articulation as well. You got the ball jointed legs now, which is I think is kind of crazy, right? So you have all that going, and you got like. It makes me think, can I torso crack a basic and then put an elite body onto that, and then maybe you get like a new attack? I see your cogs. I hear the cogs turning, actually. I can hear them clicking and clanking.
You know what I'm trying to think of? Have people been torso cracking the current basics pre new legs, and mix and matching those parts with elites? Because that would probably tell you if this is possible going forward. I don't remember off the top of my head, thinking about the customizers that I follow. So if any of you guys are customizers and are currently using basic torsos or pelvises with the opposite of elite parts, let us know.
Boom. You know where to find them. All right. Well, like I said, every comment does the algorithm just. I'm just kidding. But dude, yeah, this Tiffany Stratton as well, same basic line. This is the first time in a line for a Tiffany Stratton. She just had that match against Becky Lynch at Fastlane, which is great timing for this, I think. So getting this out is goddamn great in my opinion. I think dude, there's just so many good stuff I'm seeing on NXT 2.0 lately. Okay, maybe I have to be a fan.
She had a hell of a match with Becky a couple weeks ago, and it was just awesome knowing that yesterday.
At Fastlane, was it? It wasn't at Fastlane, was it?
No. NXT pay-per-view.
No
I was there. I forget the name of it.
No coffee.
No Mercy.
It was called No Coffee.
No
it was
coffee.
NXT
No coffee, no mercy.
That's the title of the stream.
But fortunately, we had her at Mattel headquarters back during WrestleMania season, and we were able to capture a few scans of her. So, it's finally coming to fruition. About a year later, she'll have a figure in hand.
Yeah, and I think we're going to start seeing a lot of first time in the lines, especially from the NXT sort of, grand scheme of things, which makes me excited to whoop that trick.
The brand's getting hot. The brand's getting hot again. It's great to see.
Abso-goddamn-fruitly. I think we need a 4-pack with like Mello, Cena, Paul Heyman, Braun. That's the next Mattel creations, guys. All right, give me all the royalties for that. But yeah, dude, first time on the line, Tiffany Stratton, basic 145, great stuff. And this is from the 2023 Top Picks Wave 2 figures, the basics. And this is the nondescript Marvel character, nondescript comic book. This is an attire for Seth Rollins.
Look, he's got a gold boot, right? He's got a gold boot. I don't know of a Marvel character with one gold boot, so that's fine. Everything's good.
No, Seth Rollins is the Marvel character. That's what I'm saying. Hey, yo, we saved it here. No, we didn't. No, I'm wondering though. I think we've seen this. We might have seen this attire a couple times here and there with the Mattel line. Could we maybe possibly, selfishly, see this maybe as an Elite or an Ultimate Edition?
Maybe. The problem is we can't do the vest, right? So can we do this as is with extra hands? Sure. But don't get your heart set on the entrance vest because that's not possible. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you're right. Like you said, I have a band with only 5 people in it. You're running you're running actual important stuff over here with licenses and stuff that's actually important, rather than me just going do. You know what I mean? So you're actually doing important stuff over here. But yeah, selfishly, I'd love to see an Elite and Ultimate of this attire.
Same, right? Yeah. And I would say since we can't do the vests, that the look is off the table for Ultimates, but it doesn't mean he couldn't appear in maybe a top pick Elites or Elite mainline or something in this gear. But yeah, we just couldn't complete the look with the entrance vest, sadly.
Well, yeah, that's all right, man. I mean, that brings me to the question of that begs the question. I've never said that sentence in my life. I apologize for everyone. That begs the question. Do you guys ever look back at prior attires you've done in basics and maybe try and reform them in elite lines, or do you think it's like a one and done for that attire, or is it kind of different each time you go around, I guess?
I'm down for it, right? There's specifically the green tights Ultimate Warrior that is on my list to make happen as an elite. I mean, or an ultimate. Maybe it's not ultimate worthy, but maybe as an elite. That was like his promo shoot that they use across like merchandise and everything. So it's a very memorable look for Warrior, and we only have a basic of that. So, and I can name a bunch of other examples where there were some basics that were just amazing that, you know, a lot of us wish were elites. So I'm open to it. You know, and it comes down to design preference at that point. You know, are they willing? You know, Bill specifically, sometimes, you know, he might feel that the need is satiated with the basic that's already out there, and he'll want to focus on something new. So those are just conversations we have to have, and I'll have to work on him over time, specifically to get my green trunks Ultimate Warrior out as an elite.
Hey, you gotta fight for your right to party.
Right.
Okay? Beastie Boys said it once. All right.
Just once.
If you're just maybe a couple times from memory, if I'm remembering right, there's maybe a few times, maybe a count them on my hand. But I want to thank you guys for dude. We got 30,000 screaming
Whoa.
Stormer maniacs in the Figure Friday Dome right now, which is kind of insane. A lot of questions popping in as well. I'll get to you guys in a little second, but I want to pick your brain again. Who could have thought, right? On Figure Friday, who could have thought something like that would happen here? But this is again, it goes into torso changes and stuff like that. This might have to be a Billiam McKenna. Is that his full name?
Billiam, yes, that's
Okay, cool.
his given name on his birth certificate.
Just double checking, because again, it's a fantastic name. Gonna name all my children Billiam if I'm being honest. But this elite WrestleMania 40, the new elite WrestleMania 40 John Cena figure, was there a reason that there was a new torso? I guess the earlier Cena torso for this, I guess Cena when, I don't know, there is that like unique sculpted torso out there, I believe, as well. Was there a motive for this again? Probably a question for Bill.
I think he wanted to see who would be upset with him and lose sleep over a different torso on John Cena, so he just did it. I don't know. I have no idea.
Don't take that verbatim, guys.
Look,
by the way,
at least the torso is in the ballpark of what Cena's torso looks like, right? It's not like we're talking about a drastically different.
You should give him that new Usos torso. That's what I think, guys. See what the uproar would happen there.
Maybe it even wasn't a choice. You know, sometimes, you know, when they search for tooling, maybe it's being used already. You know, maybe they're in production of, I don't know, top picks or something, and you know, there's tooling capacity issues, and we have to go with a different part. It could be any number of reasons why a part is not used for one figure and it's used for another figure, especially when you're talking about the same talent. So I don't know. This is another one. Like I didn't look at Cena's torso and see anything glaringly wrong and have to have a conversation and, you know, have something fixed. Like things happen. Like, you know, I'll give a real example of something I do remember when we had to change some of the large arms on figures last year or the year before to extra large arms. So I think Lex Luger, you saw some of the Lex Lugers have really huge biceps. Maybe Bulldog and Drew McIntyre. A couple of figures had running changes where they started with smaller, still large, with smaller arms, and then went to the extra large arms. And that's a tooling capacity issue where we're using that arm tool so much. We were like maxing out how much we could do of it, and we had to bring in another similar tool to be able to get those figures out, you know, on schedule. So things like that happen. It's really in the weeds, but you know, those are things people just don't know about that you have to, you know, problems you run into when you're producing thousands of action figures a year.
Yeah, I mean, dude, there's schedules to be met. Like I said, You're not in a band with 5 random people. I'll keep this. I'll praise this. But no, dude, and I think it doesn't even really matter on a Cena figure that, if there is a torso change, because you get. When you think about it, you get the hat, the shirt that comes with this. You get all the armbands now because they're interchangeable. You can take them off. I was even thinking of putting this all on an Ultimate Edition. You know, converting it myself into an Ultimate Edition, and I think that's great. You guys have the back catalog to like do that, which I think is exciting as well for collectors.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, because I'm not asking a question. I'm just like,
Right.
I'm guessing it's just a
I was like, where do I go with
love
this?
Yes, that's all I need, to be honest. Okay, I can't. It's only been 40 minutes here. It feels like we've been going 3 hours, and I could go another 3 hours. Just kidding. Steve has stuff to do. And we have stuff to do. We actually have to talk about this. Okay, you people in the chat. We have to talk about this now, okay? You listening? Listen up and listen good, baby. The pre-order alert, the Maivia Legacy 3-pack at Walmart with The Rock, Peter Maivia, and Rocky Johnson is available now for pre-order. And this is great. It's available for pre-order right now at Walmart.com. And this set is actually the first to feature High Chief Peter Maivia, I think, in an elite line, which is exciting as well, especially for those collectors of that time and era, and just for, I think, icon status and purposes, iconic purposes in general. Talk to me a little bit about this pack, man, and I think we're expected to see it start shipping in Q4 2020, or Q1 2024, I believe.
Yes.
Which is exciting.
I think February is when Walmart.com is quoting pre-order fulfillment. But, you know, High Chief is someone we had wanted to do for the longest time. We were just looking for the right spot for him. And then, you know, it was fortuitous that Walmart requested this pack specifically. They wanted this pack. So if you enjoy this, you can thank them for making it finally happen. So we're able to package High Chief, Rocky Johnson and Rock together in this you know, Maivia family legacy pack. We wanted to do something special and different for Rock, because we do so many Rock figures. And you know, I talked about that Ultimate Warrior promo photo set a little bit earlier in the green trunks. Like, Rocky in this look is very iconic. Not only did he appear on Raw with this gear for promos and a little bit of fisticuffs here and there, but promo photos as well, right? So they used this on merchandise. It was in, you know, the look was in WWF magazine. So it's a pretty iconic look of The Rock that
Steal his look
that we've never touched before in action figure form. Did Jax do it? I don't remember. Maybe not. But I think, you know, Bill definitely got pretty darn close to the promo photo look.
Dude, I mean, this, look, when it's all said and done, and I don't want to toot your horn, okay, dude? But when it's all said and done, this might be one of my favorite Rock figures, dude. There's like so many good. I mean, he's in loafers. He's in shorts. He's got, like, this was in like one of the nicest shirts I've seen, period. I kind of want to get that shirt, I'm gonna be honest. It's cloth goods too. There's an interchangeable watch. There's a bracelet on the other wrist. I think there's so much going into this 3-pack, which is incredible.
And now we're using that watch. Where's my Nash at? I lost him. We're using that watch on Nash also, and a future Undertaker. So, you know, getting these parts in is like, you know, little dream come true, funny things, because like when we're doing Ric Flair figures, I was like, man, let's get that Rolex on Ric Flair. Yeah. But now, should we revisit Ric Flair again, we have a watch tooled up that we could toss on him. It's great.
Dude, oh my god. I'd love like if you guys can dance around an NWA Ric Flair. I mean, I'm happy days right there. That'd be so good. But yeah, guys, if you want, I put the link in the chat if anyone has their sights set on this 3-pack, wants to pre-order it right now. Walmart.com. There you go. The link is in the chat. If you want to pick it up right now, start shipping Q1 2024. All that goods. All that good. Oh man, all that good. No, but that's very, very excited to me. Very excited to me. Look, no coffee, okay? I'm blaming no coffee for this. But yeah, man, that's let's see. Let's see if there's anything else to get into. Of course there is. Dude, Superstars. I want to talk about this, and for a big reason. I'm big on the Hulk Hogan or Terry Boulder, I guess we could say in this instance. I'm very, very excited for the Superstars, man. I don't own a Superstars yet, but I think this is going to be the one to break that tradition for me. And do you have a favorite out of these personally? Out of these three, do you have a favorite of these Superstars?
I mean, this is tough. I mean, the Doink is excellent, like unbelievable. And then the
The
Andre
cloth
is
goods,
just
man.
the Andre is so damn fun and huge. We tooled up those parts for the Masters of the WWE Universe Andre, so it's cool to get to use him again. And now revisiting him with the soft goods singlet. But I mean, the Doink is just like hands down, I think one of my favorite Superstars figures that we've done. I feel like every time we do a Doink figure, it like tops the list of like, one of the best of
Of
the year.
whatever it is. Yeah, yeah. It's like the Ultimate Edition, man. It's on display right there. It's still up there. It's one of my favorite figures.
So it's a great wave, and I saw a lot of positive reception for the wave yesterday when the photos were released, and we did debut it back at Comic-Con, but seeing studio photos really elevates the presentation quite a bit. So yeah, I'm excited for Superstars. I love the line. Bill Beneke, our design manager, designs these with some meddling for me and ideas for me. So thank you, Bill, for letting me give my ideas. But he kills it every time, and people say that they can tell a lot of love goes into this line, and they're right.
Absolutely.
He puts a lot of love into it, and he gets my eyes on it, and we bounce ideas back and forth. So this is kind of like a tribute really to our childhood love of wrestling, right? From the packaging to the figures themselves and being that Motu style to the soft goods and the filter of like, what would it be like if like a Remco back in the day or even Mattel back in the day were making WWE figures, what would they look like? So
Cool.
kind of,
That's all. I mean,
it'd be this. Less
so
articulation,
cool.
but it'd be this.
I mean, dude, any articulation, we'll get anything we can at that point. You know what I mean? Back in the day, we'll get anything we can. No, but these like, I love that. That's like actually just makes me really happy to hear that. But
And
another
the
thing
Hulk,
that makes
of course,
me
is
happy to
awesome
hear,
as well. Like this is,
dude, yeah.
I think the Chase version is his WWF debut. And that's where at the end of the match, the announcer announces him as the winner and calls him the Incredible Hulk Hogan, which they're no longer allowed to call him. But, just fun little nods there to the past and seeing even, this was before my time, right? But knowing about it and the history there and the legacy of everything, it's just cool to get these out in a form factor that, is suitable for that time frame of wrestling, especially. It's very cool.
Dude, yeah, and something that I don't know if a lot of people are noticing on this Andre, especially if you're a Superstars collector. This is not two figures. This is not this set doesn't have two different sets of Chase figures, okay? This Andre actually has interchangeable boots. Now,
Yeah.
like, which is kind of insane to me. We can see it here. It has interchangeable boots. It has the cloth singlet. Is that interchangeable hair as well, or it just plops on? That's great to me, man. And is this? Just talk, yeah. It sounds like you have something to say. Please, I love this Andre, man.
I don't remember if it's interchangeable. I think it's interchangeable because I think maybe we weren't satisfied with the wig of the old Andre Elite figure from back in the day. So I think it is interchangeable hair. It really is basically like an Ultimate Superstars figure, essentially, with all the stuff that it comes with. I don't know what can be said here. Whatever Andre era that you love, you can kind of mix and match the parts and recreate it here. So it's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. Yeah, and for the interchangeable boots as well. Is this look? You know me. I like to say, can we see this across all lines? But is this a possibility for maybe elites? There's the, I guess, mechanics to make interchangeable boots. Is that an idea that you guys have thought of internally?
Yeah. Designer preference, right? Like Bill Beneke spearheaded the creation of these Motu Origins bodies initially, and I think we leveraged them first for Masters of the WWE Universe, and he is the guy who snuck in these interchangeable parts, like the arms pop off, the boots pop off, the torso pops apart. He made that happen, and he was thinking ahead for moments like this, with something. And that was starting a line from scratch, right? Where he was able to implement those right away. Something in Elites or Ultimates, it's like, if you want that to be an ongoing thing in those lines, like you're retooling everything. So it makes it a little bit more challenging, right? Could you do one-offs here and there? Sure. But then, once again, designer's preference. Does he want to use that tooling money for, 2-in-1 boots for somebody because he needs new legs and new boots for them that you can, swap? Or does he want to tool up, 4 new heads, right? So those are the decisions that, any designer is going to have to make when they're planning their line for the year.
I mean, yeah, obviously you'd have your own way if you could have you disperse everything into every field, right, of a figure. But it makes sense. You have to, you have to choose it wisely. I mean, and you get that here. I mean, you get good product regardless. Oh, people call me a chill. Oh, I don't know, but I'm in my Kramer era or something. I don't know what's going on. I'm in my Kramer era right now.
That sound is scientifically proven to make people open wallets.
Oh, that one.
Yep.
I mean, hey guys, everyone, we got 31,000 screaming Iconomaniacs in the chat. Okay, hey, pay up, guys. But no, I wanna. That's some of the reveals I wanted to touch on. You guys reveal so much stuff, so goddamn much. There's so much product you guys release. Okay, don't blame me. Okay, you guys release too much stuff. Thank you for one. Also, there's a lot of dents in my wallet, so I don't know if I should thank you. But I actually want to talk about, I don't know, talk as much as you can on the WrestleMania 40 basics. I know that we just got confirmation. I think they might be cancelled or on hold. Can you say anything on this line?
Yeah, they didn't make it, unfortunately. With every toy line, and it goes back to some of the conversations I had with you guys when we were doing the crowdfund. Basically, everything we do is crowdfunded, from mainline elites down to knuckle crunchers, right? And in the crowdfunding case, the consumer was the person or party responsible for getting that to the finish line by placing their demands, right? Their pre-orders for the item, and saying, hey, we want this, and there's enough backers, people to buy into it. With any line, that's the case as well. Every year we solicit the entire elite line and say, hey, elites are coming. There's going to be 9 waves coming in 2024, X amount of figures, whatever, 6 times 9 is. And they buy in, and they're like, this is the number 1, number 2 action figure in the US year after year. We're in, and this is how many we plan to purchase for the year. And then we move ahead with elites, right? With WrestleMania Basics, we plan those typically for like it's called an incremental shipper. So that's like your sidekicks that you see like on the side aisle of like a Walmart or a Target or whatever store you're shopping in. But for that line specifically, it usually goes to Big Lots, right? So those retailers who take those incremental shippers are responsible for crowdfunding it, and it didn't work out this year. They chose not to buy into the WrestleMania Basics shipper, and that made it a difficult hill to overcome for your other retail partners who didn't take as many, like a Ringside Collectibles or maybe an Amazon who supported it, but not in the larger way to get it over the finish line. So that's kind of what happens in situations like this. And, you knew about it because we shared it with you, because we share things with you 6 months ahead of time, maybe more sometimes, right? We're very open in our process of sharing things. That's why we show you deco renders of things with no soft goods and virtual models like way ahead of time, because we want to be transparent. So in this case, you saw something that's not going to come, right? And there's a bunch of other things that we solicit and they don't see the light of day sometimes. It's unfortunate. It happens. If there's interest in those particular figures, we do a pretty darn good job of rescuing them and giving them placement elsewhere. So while, there might not be a WrestleMania Basics assortment in 2024, those figures could appear elsewhere, at any point in the future.
Not to get like too into specifics as well, like how often do you guys deal with something internally that is out of your hands like that does get cancelled? Not to get into too specifics, but I'd assume it'd be often, because you are working with a well-oiled machine.
That's just part of the game, right? Like, was it? I think it was Jeremy Padower, maybe. And if not, he probably subscribes to this line of thinking anyway. But, said something along the lines of like the toy business is X% failures, right? It's built on failures, really, because you have to try different things, and you create a product line, and then you want retailers to buy into it as much as possible. So that means there's going to be some casualties, right? If you have the Nick Storm action figure extravaganza store, and you have, a 10 by 10 space to fill, and you've maxed it out, right? You have your section for WWE, for Marvel Legends, for Masters of the Universe, Star Wars, whatever. Like, you dedicate so much space to each line, and there's going to be things that you just can't carry, right? So that's just normal toy business stuff. And like I said, we're fortunate in everything is form factor based, that there's multiple lines that support those form factors. So if something doesn't move forward, we can always plug it in somewhere else down the road.
There you go. Hey, and that actually brings me to asking you about. We saw this as well a couple weeks ago. I believe Bray Wyatt's family shared that. I Ringside Collectibles, I should say, shared a post saying, we're giving the family respect at this time for Wyndham Rotunda, pausing Bray Wyatt figures. Is this more of a thing that's going to be sort of on hold rather than canceled, do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call those figures canceled. I would love to get those out again, um, into a future lineup. We're just waiting for the right moment to do that for all parties involved. So, um, there's there's no reason not to have hope that those figures will see release one day.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. I'm clamoring for that Ultimate Edition Bray, and especially that Greatest Hits Bray. I'm excited for that. So, guys, I be excited for it as well, I'd say. But I also want to say this as well. You can dance around this as much as you like, but it's not going to be incriminating. We're fine, pal. It's live, pal. This is me as a fan wanting to know this. There are talks here and there. Take this with a grain of gosh darn salt. All right. Rumors of, I don't know, CM Punk returning to WWE. Does hearing something like that make you excited for the possibility to return on a talent like that, make figures of a talent like that?
Well, of course, there's already a deep catalog of his figures, that we could pull from for like a greatest hits, type of an execution. So right off the bat, there's those possibilities that you can act on immediately, and then seeing what looks haven't we done yet for maybe inclusion in like a Legends line, or a PLE wave. And would there be future looks, right? Carlito just came back as well, to
Exactly.
content. And if we're given the green light for figures, same deal. Like, I think there's two basic figures to pull from the past, but there's so many looks that were not even touched upon. Like, we never got the classic Carlito look, from his debut-ish era. So they're very exciting.
Interchangeable head with like an apple bite and then like a bite
Yeah,
taken out of the apple. That'd be so cool.
it's
Like,
super
yeah.
exciting, right? But you can't, maybe mentally you earmark what you want to do, but you actually can't start any work until given that official green light that, the paperwork is signed, sealed, and delivered from licensor.
Exactly. I mean, hey, this is me fantasy book. I'll fantasy book life until I die. This is me. This is the Nick Storm way, baby. But no, that's exciting, man. I mean, I'm a big figure fan, so that makes me excited in general. Rob Van Dam showing up in AEW. I'm not sure if there is maybe like a Legends deal or something like that. I know after we saw him inducted into the Hall of Fame, we got the Elite 91. So I don't know if that fantasy booking life again, okay? But with RVD showing up in AEW, what do you know if there's like what's the likely chance of getting more RVDs in the Mattel line?
Great.
Y-
He's got a deal in place, just like Jake
Yeah,
the Snake and Billy Gunn. And as long as, look, I feel like in situations like this, right? And there are multiple people, and everyone has a different deal, right? If all parties agree to something, right, and there's an agreement in place, a legal agreement in place, like, everyone is set to honor that agreement. So, Rob said, that he, and I'm just going by reading dirt sheets here, this is an inside information that I know, but he said that he received permission to make those appearances. So, you know Jake has been free and clear all this time, and we do, a figure or two a year of him. Billy Gunn is appearing in our line, and we're doing a retro of him. So, um, it's just agreements. It's not so cut and dry as somebody appears somewhere else on a TV show and it eliminates, pre-existing licensing agreements.
Yeah, if he shows up one place, he can not show up on the Nick Storm channel.
Right,
like
exactly.
what? No one's signing that one. If whoever's signing that one, I need to get you in touch with my lawyer because that sounds kind of like crime. I want to ask. We have a few more questions here from myself, and then I'll take it to the chat if you don't mind, Steve.
Sure.
Cool. Are there any updates on the Seth Rollins Fan Takeover Ultimate Edition that I think, I can't remember when we did see it, but I know there's a few attires in there to choose from that I'm excited for. Is there any updates on that Fan Takeover Ultimate Rollins?
I don't know when. That's actually not a line that I'm directly manage anymore. So I don't know when Amazon plans on doing a pre-sale for that. So I would imagine we're waiting for that information before we reveal the winner. I did see deco approval from licensor on the look, and it looks fantastic in figure form. So we'll see. I'll have to hit up my marketing counterpart, Jake, who manages that line, and see what's up with Amazon's pre-order.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited for that Ultimate Edition, guys. Oh my god! I mean, Seth Rollins, that Ultimate Edition that did release, counterpart to I think the Andre the Giant from memory. That Seth Rollins is just incredible. One of my favorite figures of the year. One of my favorite figures in my collection as well. You get the robe, you get the everything. So just another Seth Rollins Ultimate Edition. I have high hopes for it already. All right, pressure, all the pressure. No, I'm just pressing down on me. Jax, I believe in the past did an animal pack. Is this there's enough animals, I believe, that from throughout Mattel's, not Mattel's, WWE's long tenured history. Do you think there's an animal pack in the sites for a Mattel line?
I literally just said that to our design manager, Bill Beneke, this past week.
I need Matilda. I need Coco B. West.
We're talking about a new animal to include. But we have Chloe the dog with Tori Wilson. We have Matilda. We have Damien. Maybe we can even do a bigger snake for what was the Lucifer? Lucifer was the snake that followed Damien, right?
Yeah. I thought you were talking about Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for a second there. I was like, oh yeah.
And some other animals, right? We never got a Fifi from La Resistance, unfortunately. But I don't think it's really going to happen. But it would be fun, and it's fun to think about. And I did bring it up jokingly a couple days ago.
Throw in George the Animal Steel in there as well.
Yeah.
Be like all these animals and then George Steele. I want to ask, have you personally gotten any figures this year that has kind of been like, whoa, okay, did not expect it from this. Are you collecting this year? Are you an avid collector, I should ask?
Yes.
Dumb question, I know. That's what we do here on Figure Friday.
What did I get this NECA Comic-Con Godzilla
oh dude,
is amazing. And this is like well, I'm not going to tell the secrets. A fun human that some fans may or may not know is in his hand. But yeah, this thing is cool. I love Super 7 stuff, and they do things that a lot of companies, aren't really doing. I collect NECA, Zombie Sailor, his new
oh yeah.
What's the line called? Sorry.
Heels and Faces?
Heels and Faces, retros, right? Heels and Faces, they just showed up this week. Mo and Mabel from Hastel Toys, they showed up. Chunky.
Oh, dude, that's such a good one. I love that. That looks so clean. Lakers.
Oh, what else did I get? Even though it's a Mattel sculpt, I did get the Super 7 70s Godzillas that were, Shogun Warrior style. So yeah, I love toys, action figures. Doesn't matter who makes them. To me, we're all one family of toy artists, basically. That's my stance on things, and I appreciate what everyone does in the industry and trying to get the best product possible out to fans. The Comic-Con AEW figure of Sting with the coffin was awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's pouring in. I can't even open the figures fast enough.
Hey, I mean, if you need someone to open them, I got nothing else to do after we get off here, man. I'm just gonna open all your figures for you.
Right,
You got a few encasing back there that needs to be breathed.
I need someone to just be my intern and bag all my action figures for me.
I mean, dude, yeah, if that's my in with Mattel, there you go. I'm going to throw it to the chat, guys. Thank you so much, everyone. We have a ton of people in here. If you stuck around to the end, you're a goddamn legend, for one, and you're an icon, for one, for two, I guess. Your boy needs to cough. We muted on the mic, professional. I want to shout out the people we have in here. Justin Kendall, shout out Wrestling DeLorean. I love this guy. How many times a year will Mattel offer made-to-order items? Still two, like Cody and Logan, or more frequently, I should say.
Case by case basis. It's just we'll determine. You know, we get these items in the pipeline of production, and we decide with the Mattel Creations team what's the best way to execute them. Sometimes it's just taking in the inventory like a traditional retailer would and calling the numbers. And other times it's just like putting the power in the hands of the people, and they decide how much they want to make. So yeah, I don't know. There's no real set number. We have our items planned out for next year already. Some, maybe some will be made to order, maybe not. I don't know. But right now, let's get through this LW box set and see how this does. And if it does really well, that gives me something to stand on to do more similar items.
Yeah, and I mean, for the people who missed out on that Logan as well, I know FOMO went throughout the figure community through that figure. So if you didn't get your hands on it, guys, if you want, I actually love that made to order sort of exclusive. I think I'd love to see that across more lines. I think, and I think we might be seeing it across more lines. You get those hubs like a Hasbro Pulse, like a Jazzwares Vault maybe, and Mattel Creations as well. You get those made to order things directly into fans' hands. I love that idea a ton. We got a ton of questions here. Sorry, do you have something to say, Stephen?
No.
Okay, good. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for that. I felt that I was like heel Nick Storm. Okay, we got heels and faces. There we go. You got one of them right there. Rocco the Great, smash the like button. Go. I need to hire this guy, I think. Justin Bates. Oh, coming in hot. Okay, Steve, can you confirm or deny if we will see the WrestleMania 39 Cody in the Ultimate Edition line? I'd love this personally.
Maybe. So it's impressive gear. It looks expensive to make. So we'd have to do it as an Ultimate or special execution for sure if we were to do it.
Superstars.
Yes, look. Bill Beneke is making miracles happen with what he's doing with Superstars. So, but I think people would be upset, and I think they would direct their anger at me if he was Superstars only. So yeah, maybe Superstars, maybe Cody Superstars in that gear. But I think if we want to do it right, and make as many people as happy as possible, he should probably be an Ultimate.
Hey, you know I'd be buying up most of that stock, okay? So let's not even go there. David Carita, shout out. Are we ever going to get cage add-ons for the Elite Scale rings like the new gen?
I hope so. We are still trying to expand how many people actually own our Ultimate Scale rings because it's still relatively low. We've done 2 so far, really, with the Nitro ring right around the corner. With our kids' rings, it's like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people have those rings already. It's got to be millions, right? It's 15 years into the line we're approaching. So, it makes it easy to do things like that. But yeah, for something that has a very small consumer base right now, it makes it tougher. So I hope we get there, and I hope we get there soon. But, that's why I'm going to keep trying to get out these variations of our Ultimate ring. Maybe modern, we can do that pretty soon, hopefully. But Nitro's next. So let's keep building out the user base of how many people have these rings, and then we can hopefully get to cages or other add-ons.
Like you said, and the millions or whatever the heck. Yeah, Blue Stage. Yeah, like David said. I mean, I'd be so down for that. Nick, you're killing it. Stop it. You're gonna make me blush, dude. Thank you. And I think TiVo was asking, TiVo 67, price point for the LWO set. Is there maybe an estimate price set for right now at least?
Less than the cost of 5 Elite figures.
Well,
It will
okay. I
not.
mean,
It
that
will.
makes
It
me
will
happy.
not be a premium price for that item. It will be kind of a value play. So it'll be cheaper than buying 5 individual elites.
Hey, that makes
Yep.
me happy, man. I get the figure regardless. Okay. Now, let's see that Seth Ultimate Edition. Okay, Oliver. I agree. Let's see it, Steve.
Let's
It's
see.
right next to you. I'm joking. Let's see that Seth Ultimate. Maybe that we need to see a Steve Ozer Ultimate Edition.
I wouldn't be opposed.
Well, look, if you had to make a Steve Ozer Ultimate Edition, what accessories would you come with?
A chalkline jacket, a mini Ultimate Edition action figure.
I mean, hey, so there's a Sami Zayn that came with a Slammy Award that was based off of an
Right.
Elite figure. So
Look,
you
pack
get
that
into
in
the
too.
weeds
I'll
of
take
it.
a Slammy, sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think we need to have like Nick Storm ceremony or like the Nick Storm Awards or something. Because the amount of times you've been on, you'd literally win it more times than I've been on my own channel.
What's your award called? Little Nickies?
I mean, the first winner of that has to be Adam Sandler, right? I have to give it to him straight away, and then I'll think about who else to give it to later. I mean, that Little Nicky's is so good. I could open up a fast food chain. All right, that's neither here nor there, guys. You have questions, and we're gonna get to them. How does Steve say? Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't read this before I clicked it. I apologize, Steve. But this
Good
is a great
genes.
question.
Good genes. My mom. Thanks to my mom.
Well, there you go. Straight leg or a boot cut? I'd ask. Steve, we need Bron Breaker's heel look in the Elite line, please and thank you. I agree, Justin. It's only a matter of time, I feel like, with that. Any more? Oh, yeah, sorry. You went.
That's not a question.
Maybe I want to see that as well.
Okay.
I apologize. This is what happens on No Coffee. Any more information on the Macho Man that you can give?
No. Hoping for the best.
Hoping for the best. Hey, look, we're spitballing here, okay, guys? This is what happens. When is the Nitro ring coming out for pre-order? Mitchell Craig.
Don't know. Ringside. Look, for Ringside pre-orders, 99% of them, they set their dates based on when they know they can deliver that item to their consumers confidently. So they'll set that date. I don't know what it is, unfortunately. For Mattel Creations, it'll be early next year, just like the Raw ring was. So your first chance will still be through Ringside. I just don't know when that is. That's up to them.
That's fair enough, yeah. Rocco, dude, this guy's making me blush. I said it.
This isn't a question either.
Look. It makes me feel good inside. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy in my tum-tum. I'm sorry. Only questions for Steve here, guys. We're eating up into SmackDown time.
Questions for you, too. That's fine. That's why we saw the sharp drop-off in viewership. SmackDown started.
Yeah, it wasn't when I started going into business for myself at all. It was
when it was like six comments in a row of how wonderful Nick is.
Yeah. I wonder why we had 20,000 Stormer Maniacs drop off. Luis, when new music, movie, or books have street dates, you're almost certain to find them at any store on those dates, but stores never seem to do the same with toys, not even exclusives. Do you know why that is, Steve?
So there's two different types of what people think are street dates for toys. One are the real street dates, and those are for toys that are based on like a theatrical, like a Marvel movie, right? So you have a new Avengers movie coming out. They want all Avengers product to hit stores on the exact same day. So that's like a true street date. That stuff's going to be hidden in the back of the store. Nothing can go to the floor there. It could be big trouble if that makes it to the floor ahead of the street date. That's similar to books and movies and music. The other street dates that you probably are thinking of for something like a WWE figure, they're typically reset dates, planogram reset dates. So that's not a street date that we as a toy company or a brand put on our product, right? Like as far as we're concerned, when the stuff gets to the retailer, sell it, and let's move on to the next item, right? But for something like Legends at Target, they will hold them for the next planogram reset where the old product will come off, go to clearance, and then they'll put the new fresh product on pegs to replace it. So that's the two types of street dates. So you will see that strictness sometimes with anything that's really sensitive, like something, theatrical based, but with other things that are a little more loose, like, a G.I. Joe Classified or Masters of the Universe or WWE, it's not like the same type of street date. They're really just holding that product so they can set their new mod set all at the same time.
I always wondered that because as soon as a movie drops, you see that Lego set in store the week before. You know what I mean? You see it like a week beforehand. So I've always wondered about that because, yeah, there are things that do get out there, like Marvel Legends, that are based on the actual movie that want to release with the actual promotion. Something like that is completely different with wrestling figures.
And then you get envious if you collect that stuff of, some collector friends in Asia or whatever who get that stuff immediately, and you've got to wait like 4 months because it's behind a date wall basically in the US.
Yeah, pretty much. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Louise. I hope I'm saying that right. Louise. I like saying Louise. That's pretty fun. Have you Dino Spumoni? I love it. Can I steal that name for one? Steve, have you considered a potential limited number of series a what if line? This is cool. All the possibilities, answering all of wrestling's greatest questions, what if questions, NWO, Ministry, DX, Wolfpack, etc. This exactly, it just reminds me of like the Green Cane. I remember seeing photoshopped or somewhere, the iconic photo. But yeah, what do you think of this? A possibility, maybe?
It's fun. I would like figures like this. I just don't know if I could get enough support within my team to make it happen. Maybe
the mastermind of the Ultimate Editions guy.
Right.
Just put your flag on that. Plant your flag.
Now make them all in gear that never existed. Right. It's tough because we have to make a line that caters to a lot of different types of tastes and desires of what they want to see in a wrestling figure line. So, I do feel like something like that would be fun for people who are a little more maybe casual and having fun with things, but it might upset hardcore people who just would think it's taking a spot of, Thanos Seth Rollins as an elite with a vest. Yeah, so that's a tough one. It's a really fun idea. I just feel like it'd be a little bit tough to pull off.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I can see where the issues could probably run in with that as well. And then we got Oliver.
You know what? I'm definitely not opposed to that. I think can eventually happen, like concept gear or first appearance gear, Kane's cape. As an example, right? Like things like that. Yep. Things like that are more grounded in true history, or almost happened, could have happened. There's artwork, there's photos. That makes it a little more possible.
Yeah, stuff like that's cool. Seeing what could have been, come to fruition or something like that. I like that. Because then you get it actually immortalized. If it's a great design, regardless, and it just never sees the light of day, that's a waste, right? You know what? And then for the wrestler as well, in particular. And then Oliver, the torsos are different. This is the iconic, the controversial, iconic comment of the. I'm just
They aren't different. Okay.
They are different.
Oh, Justin is R. Okay, so we have a battle. So the next episode will be a torso battle showdown between Justin and Oliver. Hour and a half torso extravaganza.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to the death. No, let's until you incapacitate your opponent to the count of 10 or something. Something like that. Dave Segan. He loves this question. Hey, Steve, can you please confirm when we will get a Giovanni Vinci shortly after Ludwig, maybe?
Look, why would we not, right?
The Ludwig Kaiser basic.
Hang tight. We just announced that, so just hang tight.
Hang in there like a cat on a poster, dude.
Yes.
All right. Loves that question. Mitchell, shout out. No mercy. Yeah, cool. Okay, there we. Yeah, no coffee. I think we've established that now.
Sing the No Mercy song, but sing No Coffee. And if you don't remember what it is, look that up after the show.
I might have to do that unless you can give a taste of it here.
No. Did we see? What do we think about that intro to No Mercy? For any, I don't know if you saw it or not. They did the straight up like video game Nintendo 64 like opening for
They,
NXT No Mercy,
oh,
and they
that's pretty
inserted
cool.
all their superstars in like 64-bit crappy graphics, which was awesome. So go back on Peacock or whatever you're streaming WWE on, and look at at least the intro if you're a longtime fan.
Dude, I mean, I love video game stuff like that. So I'm a big nerd. I grew up on like the Super Mario games on my like mum's like Super Nintendo, you know. So I'm big on that. Let's see what other stuff we have here in the comments. Hey, I just answered this one. It's okay. MBG's in here as well. Shout out.
He's
We had a
laughing
great.
at us. He's laughing
I
at
mean,
us.
hey,
Also,
story
not a
of my
question.
life. Also not a question. Yeah, I know. We're burning into Steve's SmackDown time. Okay, we're burning into everyone's SmackDown time. Actually, we're burning into my one.
Not me.
Um,
I got 2.5 hours left before SmackDown.
is that
West Coast
really
time.
what
West
happens?
Coast time. I got a delay. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That
So I have to
really
avoid
is.
social media until 8 p.m. here because everything goes down on the East Coast.
I don't know if I didn't even know if you could be lying. This could be verbatim here. I don't even know.
I'm a good jokey liar, but I'm not doing that this time.
You are, and that's why. Look, that's a testament to that right there. Oh, this is a good question. Will we be getting a re-release of the retro ring? Question mark.
I'd like to. Maybe.
There you go.
Maybe. Do you want a
There you
re-release
go.
or something different? That's the question.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll have to get talking after this after this goes off air. Mitchell Craig, who is the? Oh, can you give anything on this and an update on this? Who is the third Ultimate in the Ultimate Edition 20 line with Asuka and Roman having to replace that Bray Wyatt figure?
I think that announcement will come out next month. It's a greatest hits figure. It's a re-release. It is what it is, right? We had to make a move.
Exactly, yeah.
We had to make a move. The next wave was a greatest hits wave, so we were able to pull the work forward that was already in motion for that next greatest hits wave, plug it in here, and then we did another greatest hits replacement in that wave, which we're going to try to do some special upgrades. And we weren't planning on doing it originally, but now that we have to do it, we're going to do some special upgrades to it. So all that's going to come out hopefully in the next month to 2 months.
I'll echo this sentiment. Sometimes real life matters take control over toys, and that's completely understandable. I mean, like you said, this wasn't on paper to happen. It just happened. You have to pivot and move on with it as well. And
yeah,
plus,
and it just my tone is to kind of keep expectations in check, right? Like with zero time to pivot or make changes, and you're just doing a straight up carry forward, basically, with minimal, if any, upgrades. Don't be upset when you see it. Some people, you're getting another crack at an ultimate figure that some people might not have. So it's fine.
I need to edit you like in the burning house, that gif. It's fine.
Yeah.
just for that. No, guys, thanks again for all the questions and comments. There's so much stuff. I've never done this in a stream where I can't get to all the comments. This is incredible, guys. You guys are insane tonight. I love you guys to bits. MBG1211, does the Superstars line have longevity for a long time, or has an end in sight to be replaced with something else in the future?
I never want it to end. I think there are a few trains of thought in marketing of like a toy line having a life expectancy of maybe 3 years or less, right? And I think that's definitely true for most like kids lines, but when it comes to collector lines, I don't think that's the case at all. I think if a line has legs and you have enough source material to pull from, you can keep it going for a long time. And I think I've been able to adjust some of the thinking for our collector lines to lean into that line of thinking instead of like, oh, it's been 2 years, let's cut it off and try something different now. Because I don't think you have to do it. And I think Superstars, how well it's doing right now, especially now that we got over some of these planogram hurdles and inventory hurdles at Walmart, and you're seeing like the freshest waves hitting, the Vader wave, the Roddy Piper wave, Mr. Perfect, like all those figures are hitting now. So we're back completely on schedule. That stuff's like being gobbled up whenever it hits retail. So, I'm hoping as long as it performs well, we can keep it alive. Same thing goes for Monday Night War as well. As long as we have talent that have viable looks that we can, plug into that line and people keep buying it, we'll keep it going as long as we can.
There you go. I mean, happy days for you superstars collectors over here, and obviously going to be me with that freaking Hulk. Okay.
At least as long as they keep me around, let me say. Like if if lightning strikes me down, someone can come in and be like, kill superstars and legends and Monday Night War. It could happen, but
and Ultimate Editions. No,
and
if anyone says that, that's I
Yeah.
lose like faith in humanity at that point.
I wouldn't be surprised by anything.
I mean, hey, figure community is pretty funny sometimes. Okay. Let's see here. A shout out to you guys again. Oh, I kind of want to hear this selfishly. Any chance? Thanks. Shout out to Robert again, Robert Carey. Any chance of a Smoking Guns Billy Gunn maybe?
I would love to. I think there are two different opinions on the team between myself and another designer of not wanting to do half tag teams. And I've really fought for some of them sometimes, especially if a contract was coming up. We wanted to take advantage of a talent while we had them and utilizing them in the line. But there's just an opposing opinion of not wanting to do half tag teams. And you see it in the comments when we do the half tag teams. A lot of people get pissed off about it. But I would rather ensure that we get that half out, and then maybe down the road we can get the second half of the team out. That's kind of my stance on it. But I think a lot of that stems from people don't understanding we can't just do whoever we want whenever we want, right? We need a merchandise deal in place to do that stuff.
Yeah,
I saw a lot of negative comments on the LWO box set. Who made this terrible decision and didn't put Bad Bunny and Savio Vega in this? And I'm just like, yes, it was a decision not to put them in the box set.
Oh, and to be honest, any more than 5 people in one box set, how much are you looking for? How much is that running you? Probably like a mortgage, a down payment on a house, Like, yeah, who knows? Okay. Freaking! What we need is a 7-pack Nick Storm. I mean, I've seen so many comments. Steve, it's incredible the amount of comments in here.
Mitchell's crying about Barbarian. Me too, Mitchell.
I'm crying about. We need Nick Storm figures. How about that? Nick Storm. How about where's the Nick Storm Ultimate Edition line?
You didn't sign that Legends deal, man.
Well, look. I mean,
what are you holding out for, huh?
I'm just a little too flattered. You guys consider me a legend. I'll be honest. Okay, I saw that in the mail. I was like. Yeah, come on, man. All right.
Really,
anyway.
You're really difficult with approval rights.
Is that true? It's because I'm Australian. Everything's upside down.
Gotcha.
Yeah, everything's like, well, yes, no, I don't know. It's your.
I got everyone crying about half tag teams. Dynamite Kid crying, Barbarian crying. Same. Of
Me
course.
too. Yeah, honestly,
maybe,
yeah.
Maybe
as a
someday
fan.
you won't be crying anymore, and you'll be glad you had that Warlord already, right?
All right. Freaking keep those eyelids open. All right. Let's see. More. People are saying Oliver Customs, and we need a new Vince. I mean, that'd be pretty great. Vince with the mo. And the dyed hair. I need that. Jacob the wrestling fan. Shout out. Wadfigs. Please ask about the Gargano kick pad situation. So I believe this is on the Elite 105, Johnny Gargano. Can you speak on this at all? I think this is more of a design thing for Billiam, maybe. I need to get Billiam on here.
That's just a victim of the transition to the new pinless legs, and not having like the right combination of compatible parts, right? Like we were in a period of time there when we were tooling up all the legs once again. I told you that, right? Earlier in the chat, we mentioned about like the swappable boots, right? And like when you make that decision, it's a huge decision, and you're spending tons of tooling money because you have to change everything, right? So at that point. We were doing the new legs for everyone, investing in the new legs, sculpting in some cases, tooling up the new legs, and just didn't have the right combination of parts to continue, what we had done with the fan takeover Gargano's boots. So that's it. Easy as that.
There we go. And I want to say,
unfortunate, and we'll try to change it up as we go. But the machine keeps on rolling, and you have to hit those avail dates, especially a wave like the first wave of the year for Gargano. I'm talking as if this was way in the past. The wave hasn't even come out yet. But
It's probably way in the look. I'll be honest. It's probably way in the past for you guys internally.
Yeah.
You guys are scheduled like probably for the next 2 years.
Right. So that wave, the first waves of the year, are integral because you plug those into your WrestleMania features, right? So people in the US know they go to Walmart WrestleMania timing, and there's a good chance they're going to bump into a huge pallet or an end cap of WrestleMania figures and elites. So you have to build that ahead of time. So we need to stay on schedule with those first few waves of the year, especially to be able to build those features. And once we discovered that we didn't have the right combos to make Gargano's legs work as they did before. Too late. You gotta make a choice, pencils down, and move forward.
Yeah, hell to the heck yeah. And also Bailey, good shout out. I don't you worry. Can you ask about upcoming Ultimate Edition 2-pack possibilities? Anything planned soon?
Yeah, Gobbledygooker and Undertaker did exceptionally well at Amazon. The Usos did exceptionally well at Ringside. So we'll try to anniversary those. Coliseum Collection is still alive, and that Piper set will be available before the end of the year at MattelCreations.com. So all those Ultimate 2-packs seem to be resonating with collectors, and we'll keep doing them as long as people keep buying them. Maybe we'll change up theming or do different things. I don't know, but we'll keep trying to do Ultimate multi-packs.
Yeah, I mean, that's great news to me. I like that. I like to hear this. More plastic in my goddamn possession. Num 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 num. I get to review it or whatever. But yeah, thanks again for everyone who asked a question. I want to ask one more. There are so many questions, guys. I do appreciate everyone putting a comment, even typing a single goddamn letter on their keyboard into the chat. And Steve, I don't doubt we'll have you on again in the future, right?
We'll see. I'll think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Don't worry. After this one, it's understandable. It's understandable. The scariest Friday the 13th episode of Friday, guys.
So you can read me statements from the audience again? Okay.
Look, that one cut deep, Steve. Thanks again, but yeah, I don't doubt you'll be on here again. So people, if you didn't get your question answered on this episode, Steve, I'll freaking harass you for your time in the future again. And so will the commenters, thankfully. But all about aerodynamics. Me, selfishly, and I know even Bill McKenna is a fan of the Great Muta. And I know, man, this makes me excited. Is the Great Muta maybe a possibility after his Hall of Fame enshrinement? Is he affiliated with the WWE now, maybe under a Legends deal?
Hall of Fame does not automatically mean Legends deal and does not mean action figures, which is really unfortunate because there's a bunch of Hall of Famers we would love to get to work on. But at least they're in the conversation when that happens, right? And maybe it will eventually pave the way for some sort of merchandise deal. And if much like the Steiners, as soon as we know or shortly after we know that a talent like them or Muta are available, you're going to find out soon enough. And we want to, let you find out in the most exciting way possible, not a leak list or some nonsense. We want to, show you a render or make a big announcement and make sure that, they have all the pomp and circumstance that they deserve for an announcement like that. So yeah, nothing for Muta yet. I would love to. I remember having like Pro Wrestling Illustrated back in the day when he was in NWA, feuding with Sting, and you're in awe of things like that as a kid. There's like this mystique around it, especially when you see things discovered in like a wrestling magazine first, right? It'd be really special to do Muta, like going way back to those days. I mean, heck, I think was it in World Class maybe? Like he wrestled without the face paint, perhaps. There's a deep history of Muta in the US that we can pull from, let alone, at the very least, we would be able to do, I would assume, his masked look from Hall of Fame. A lot to pull from Muta if we ever get the green light for him.
I mean, dude, that makes me so goddamn excited. Again, I want to thank everyone for saying, and Oliver Customs, never say never. There you go, never say never. Justin Bieber, don't copyright me. And I want to thank everyone for stopping by and in chat, and Steve especially. You gave us an hour and 35 of your time. Probably going to be maybe a minute over that. Who freaking knows? But you gave me an hour and 40 of your time, and I appreciate that dearly, man. And I don't know, man. It's been like a staple to have you here on the Nick Storm channel on Figure Friday, especially. And I don't know. I'd love to have you on here again, man. If that's something that you're interested in. Again, maybe you have to think about it.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
Yeah, okay. And and I hope you guys are getting in the festive season of Halloween. I hope the leaves are falling, and so are you, because jump scare. We got a new that was so awful. Stop. That was so awful. We got a new review out on the channel if you guys want to go see that and watch that right now. It's on the channel, the Danhausen Ringside exclusive. Num num num. Great figure. But for that being said, Steve, any final words for the 32,000 Stormer Maniac. 34,000. We just jumped up 2,000, baby. 34,000 Stormer Maniacs in the chat. Anything you want to say? I
don't know. Stay tuned. Exciting things to come. More announcements and reveals and Elite Squad videos. And, I saw something float through the chat about Ringside Fest. Fingers crossed there. That's up to Ringside. That's their event, right? So, whether I know something or don't, that's up to them to talk about. But either way, we're going to keep trying to excite you with new figures, new reveals, new signings, the whole 9 yards, action figures, craziness, soft goods. Everybody loves it. We're here for a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, where can everyone find you?
Well, I'm in El Segundo, California.
My address is 123.
At Action Figure Attack, Instagram, Action Fig Attack, Twitter, TikTok. Either one of those. I don't remember which one. Maybe Action Figure Attack, maybe Action Fig Attack. There's one of those. And, conventions. Coming soon to a convention near you.
Hey, coming soon to a convention near you. If I'm not Steve Ozer parading around, that's my life motto right there. Okay. If I'm the case. No, again, thank you everyone who stopped by. There's that Danhausen review on the channel. And again, Steve, thank you so goddamn much. But without further gosh darn ado, let's get the heck out of here. We gotta get the heck out of here. Did you enjoy this stream? Well, good, because after this stream ends, make sure to go onto my channel and binge watch every single one of my videos, because they're guaranteed a good chuckle or two. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye!
Nick Storm, the Australian.